is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a fun video. Today we're going to talk about the Eastern Conference All-Stars. I wanted to really focus on the East, so I did it separately. We have a lot of guys that's putting up numbers and a lot of teams that's close in the record-wise. We have players that's potentially going to be new All-Stars that took their game to another level. And we're going to have guys that haven't, played at an All-Star level and they have fell out the All-Star game, and we're going to have guys that potentially can make the All-Star game, but they still do have a couple more weeks in the NBA season to strengthen their case or make a case and take somebody else's spot. So this should be fun. This should be cool. We all love the All-Star game. We all love seeing the best players and really watching the All-Star weekend for the fun and time to enjoy as a fan, and they give back to us with the All-Star weekend. Luckily for me, I am going to be at the All-Star weekend for the sophomore game and three-point shootout in the All-Star game. Luckily enough, I'm blessed to be able to go to the All-Star weekend. But, I'm looking forward to it, and it should be fun for everybody, even if you're watching at home. So let's talk about the All-Star. The obvious one, he's the number one team in the entire NBA. Obviously, you have Giannis being the main superstar in the East right now, just killing it. He has the global impact, has the dominance, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and he has just been spectacular. There's nothing you can really say bad about Giannis, and he's knocking down threes now. He's having that confidence and that swagger to let that thing fly, and it's been going in more times than not compared to the other seasons. Obviously, got Pascal Siakam. He has been a superstar for the Raptors. They lose DeMar DeRozan, they lose Kawhi Leonard, and everybody's panicking. Everybody's going crazy. And I'm like, no, Siakam gonna get the max. He will be an All-Star. He will develop into one of the best players in the league, and he has done that. And being the first-time All-Star should be good for him because he has put in a lot of work and put a lot of effort in, and his team is winning in the top 5 in the East. And you have to give him that love and that respect. And I do, and that's why I have him as an All-Star. Joel Embiid, I'm not the biggest Joel Embiid fan, but I still have to respect his game. He's a great rebounder, great rim protector, a guy that can really score the ball and has a lot of moves and has a big impact when he does play. The Philadelphia 76ers have been really disappointing this year. Everybody thought they'd be a dominant team. Their defense has held up. They still struggle offensively, even though they have decent pieces. But the thing that's crazy is they haven't lived up to the hype, but they still are one of the best teams in the East. But we'll see how the season ends. But as of right now, Embiid is definitely an all-star. Kemba Walker, this is a no-brainer. The Celtics are one of the best teams in the entire NBA. They have a great record, and Kemba is a lot to do with that, being able to hit the three, really put a lot of pressure on the defense because he comes off screens quick. He attacks the paint, and all that makes his teammates' job easier just because he's taking a lot of attention away from them, just because you have to slow him down or respect his shooting ability, which makes it open up for his teammates. I think Kemba is one of those guys that's a no-brainer that he's definitely going to be in. Sabonis, this might be a little surprising, but Brogdon has missed a lot of time, and Sabonis has been the healthiest. He has been the most steady. He has been the most consistent, and he has been a great rebounder, a great finisher, a great passer, great screen setter to allow Brogdon to get the mid-ranges and the floaters in the space that he needs to attack the rim and put the ball in the basket. It's kind of funny because you would have never thought 3-4 years ago that Sabonis would be an all-star caliber player, but it's funny how things change and things evolve. He is one of them, and I actually have him over Brogdon for the Indiana Pacers all-star, which might surprise a lot of people because because I was a guy that really said Brogdon would be one of the biggest, most improved players just because he'd get more opportunity, more minutes, and more chances to put up the numbers. But I also said, do Malcolm Brogdon have that mentality to take over? Do he have that mentality to be a 20 plus point scorer? And it hasn't happened. And that's why I question him winning most improved player, because I just didn't see him really wanting to make a stamp. Like, I'm going to take over. I'm going to dominate. I'm going to get 20 a game. He just didn't have it. He just likes to play winning basketball, whether that's defending, whether that's passing, whether that's being a facilitator, and whether that is taking over. Brogdon has shown an all-around game, but he just don't have that nasty in him. And that's one of the biggest reasons why his numbers continue to drop outside of injuries. But, when I come and look at the Pacers, I always see that Sabonis has always been a big part of their success, and he's the one I picked for the Pacers. Jimmy Rickety Tickety Butler, this is more of an obvious one. We all going to have Jimmy Butler on the All-Star team, giving you 26 and 6. That's very impressive. Jimmy Butler has always been known as a two-way player, but now he's showing you that he's an all-around player, showing his rebounding ability, his facilitating, his playmaking ability, while still being able to take over fourth quarters and take over stretches of games, but also, being more of a teammate, not trying to be too ball dominant, too ball hoggy, and allowing his teammates to be themselves and allowing his teammates to play to their strengths while also helping them making their job easier. Butler has really showed a maturity change, but not only that, he really has shown that he's continuing to grow as a player, and this season is no different. Chris Middleton, this is more of an obvious one. Chris Middleton is one of the best players in the Eastern Conference. He's playing for the number one team in the East. And he was an all-star last year. You can make a big argument that he's better this year than he was last year. And if that's the case, why shouldn't he not be an all-star, especially when he's a big reason why this team is one of the best teams in the entire NBA. And right now, the Bucks look unbeatable. They look unstoppable a lot of times. It's tough to score on them consistently, and Middleton has a big part of that. And Giannis needs somebody to help him out. He needs somebody that can really, take a lot of stress off him when he doesn't have it going, or somebody that can give him, when he's tired, a break. And Middleton can do that. 8, Nikola Vucevic, and mainly because Orlando been in the playoff picture the entire season. And you have to pick somebody to represent them in the All-Star weekend, and nobody has come close to playing better than Vucevic on this team. He got off to a rough start. His shot wasn't falling. They really couldn't figure it out, and now their defense has carried them the entire season. But Vucevic, he's snapping threes. He's hitting mid-range. He's still killing it on the boards. And even though his numbers are close in scoring to Evan Fournier, you still got to give it to Vucevic just because he is rebounding and impacting the game in more than one way on his team. And he has been the best player on the Orlando Magic so far. And for that, and the fact that they've been in the playoffs all season in the East, even though they are below 500, somebody got to represent them just for that. And I don't see nobody that can do it better and hasn't been better than Nikola Vucevic. And you got to think about it, on top of that, he is the best player on the team. You look at Kyrie. This was more of a controversial one. A lot of people been saying Spencer Dinwiddie because Kyrie was out for over 20 games, and you had Dinwiddie just literally slicing and dicing everybody up. And he got a lot of hype, and a lot of people felt like he was playing at an all-star level. The biggest problem with Dinwiddie is after a couple weeks, they started back losing. So they were showing that they can win without Kyrie. Then they came back to earth and became a regular team. And this team has been okay, like Orlando. They haven't been great. They haven't been crazy. They haven't blew our minds. They just been good enough to win. And they still been in the playoffs, and that mentality does work in the Eastern Conference. And that's why they're in the playoffs right now. But when I look at Kyrie numbers and I look at his celebrity and I look at him being a popular player, even if I think he's not an all-star, it's going to be hard for him not to be an all-star this year, especially when you look at the coaches most likely going to vote for him. If not, the fans are going to do it. And in the media, they seem like they're going away from Kyrie, but the players have always showed love and respect to Kyrie, which works in his favor. So should he be an all-star? I don't know. It should be Spencer Dinwiddie to a lot of people, but we still got a little bit more time. And if he continues to play at a great level before the All-Star weekend, he might have enough case. When you look at the numbers, it's there. When you look at the record, with or without him, they still been an okay team. So the case is going to go more in Kyrie direction, especially if he can play well for the next couple weeks going into the All-Star game. That's only going to strengthen his case as he's getting more minutes and he's back starting. So it looks like Kyrie, if he can stay healthy for the next couple weeks, is going to be an All-Star for the Brooklyn Nets. And then you got Trae Young. Trae Young, a lot of people don't know, should it be Bill? Should it be Levine? Should it be Brogdon? Should it be a lot of these players like Ben Simmons? And I got Young because he went out there and competed. This is a guy that's giving you 29. He's giving you a lot of assists. He's taking over games. He's giving all that he got. I know he's a terrible defender, but at the same time, the team wouldn't even be competitive, and they done shown that when he was injured without Trae Young. When he sits the bench, they're terrible. One of the worst teams in NBA history. And Young has made that much of an impact, being able to score, keep the defense on his heels, using his probing ability to find scorers while also never knowing when he's going to shoot the ball. But you got to respect that he can shoot and hit floaters and pull-ups, and he keeps you on your toes. You just don't know what he's going to do next, and he's very unpredictable, and that's what makes him tough to guard. But also his efficiency went up this year. It's not like he just going out there just bombing a bunch of shots like he did in college and like he did last year. He's taking shots he know he can make. He's taking better shots, and he's shooting more efficient than he was last year, which shows improvement. Plus, the overall numbers have improved. So I think Young will make it, and he's also a player that a lot of people, like the fans, are voting for. So he might get in just for that. Do he deserve it record-wise? No, his team has been terrible. One of the worst teams I've ever seen, especially defensively. But it's not just Trae Young; it's the whole team. So I give him a pass. Bradley Beal, it's going to be hard to keep him out of here just because he's one of the best players in the league, not just the Eastern Conference. I know his efficiency went down, but he's been battling injuries. He's putting up big numbers. He's showing that he's committed and he loves the state in the city of Washington. And he has took a year that he could have been traded playing for a contender, but instead he chose to play for the Wizards. But at the same time, he has been fantastic. When you look at the all-around number and his all-around impact, he has shown that he's more than just a shooter. He's a scorer, and he can score finishing the basket, pulling up the basket, knocking down threes, playing off the ball, cutting. His all-around scoring game has improved, and I feel like he has to be an all-star, and I feel like he will. And Ben Simmons is going to be controversial. Ben Simmons can't shoot. Ben Simmons hasn't got better, but at the end of the day, he's still one of the best defenders at his position. He's still a great rebounder. He's still a great passer. And when you look at more than just shooting, he has filled up the box score, and his team is winning. And, Ben Simmons, even though he lacks the aggressiveness, he doesn't want to score, he doesn't want to change, he still is a great basketball player at the end of the day. And that's something that I have to give him credit for, and I can't take credit away from him on that. I know there's other players that you might feel is more deserving, but like I said, we still got a couple more weeks to go. So Ben Simmons can either help his case or he can go down. But as of right now, I think these are the best players in the East, and I feel like a lot of these players should be in the All-Star game. But a lot of them are so close that these next 2.5 weeks can really decide if you're an All-Star and if you're not. And we're going to see if these other players can stay healthy. And if they can't, somebody else going to get a spot anyway. And if they can, they might move up and take somebody else's spot. But we really don't know. But based off the entire season, these are my guys. And like I said, some of them are close. So we'll see how it plays out in the next couple of weeks. Let me know who you guys think is all-stars. Let me know if I missed somebody, if I overrated somebody, if I underrated somebody, if I'm sleeping on somebody. But at the end of the day, this was just for fun. I thought it was a good idea. Everybody talking about the all-star game. Everybody can't wait for it to come. And at the end of the day, I really want to see who really going to be all-stars and who really going to be a part of the weekend in that day, in that game. But let me know who you guys think are the real all-stars and who I missed. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis, I'm gone. And this is going to be a crazy year. And tomorrow I'll be doing the West, so check out for that.